Hi everyone, welcome to another video of Sunday Morning Drives. Today we are reviewing the brand new BMW M5. Special thanks to East Auckland BMW for lending this car for us to review. So this is the brand new version of the M5. Instead of having just the twin-turbo V8, now this brand new version is a plug-in hybrid. The total output of this car is around 717 horsepower and 1000 Newton meters of torque. But it is also quite heavy though. It weighs in around 2.5 tons, so much heavier than the previous generation. So today we will do a full review of this car from the inside to the outside and also do a drive to see how it feels. Okay, let's do a quick launch of the M5. 0 to 100 sprint. Right now I'm in MDM mode. I put my left foot hard on the brake, right foot hard on the gas. Launch mode, let's go. Okay, driving the brand new BMW M5. I'm really looking forward to this. And it'll be interesting to see how the chassis handles this 2.5 ton weight. Right now I'm in my M1 mode, which is the most comfortable mode. Everything is set to comfort and we'll just drive out. First thing I notice is how refined this car is. At a price of almost $250,000 New Zealand dollars, this is a very luxurious, very high performance sedan that you can basically use every day, because in comfort mode it just feels like a normal 5 Series. Very practical, very comfortable. Interior is top-notch quality. All the design finishes are all really good. Material used, they are all Napa leather wherever you can touch. Lots of carbon fiber in the interior. The ambient lighting is amazing. So this is a very luxurious and comfortable car to drive, because this is just like any 5 Series. So you have very nice visibility out, no blind corners at all. You can see out from the rear side windows really easily. And also it's very practical. It's got lots of storage, lots of cup holders in the front, at the back. Center console storage, glove compartment, you got everything you need for a daily. And also there's a very large boot space at the back, so if you want to travel with this car, it's definitely very easy. And to be honest, some people think there are too much modes or too much adjustments in terms of your steering, brake, drivetrain, your hybrid, your 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive. But I personally actually quite like this. Once you get the logics of it and once you set it up properly for once, because you can configure everything into 2 buttons, M1 and M2. So it's just as easy as a press of a button. So once you set it up, it's actually easy to use. And also you have a setup button right in the center of the center console, where you can press and goes directly into the configuration screen, which is also a very handy way to get into configuring your car. I also quite like the steering wheel. I think the steering wheel is really nicely designed. Personally, I quite like the thickness of these M cars, because I used to own a couple of M3s, so I'm pretty used to the thickness of the steering wheel. And it's lined in Napa leather. It just feels really nice in your hands. And the steering wheel, in terms of control, is actually not complicated at all. You have cruise control on the left, and your screen and your music control on the right, and your M1, M2 button right on top of the steering wheel. So it's really easy to access all these buttons. And also you have these really large pedals on the sides. Although they are made out of plastic and they don't click really well, I don't have a very audible clicking sound, but they are quite large, so they are quite easy to use if you want to change gears yourself. So right now I've changed the drivetrain into electric mode. So this is a electric only mode. you can see the gauge actually changes a little bit and give you the percentage of power that the car is producing. And there is a very clear battery gauge as well on the side. Right now it shows 43 kilometers and the battery is about 2/3 of the power. So you can actually travel in electric only mode for quite a bit of distance. So if you're just commuting from work or going to the shops near your house, you don't want to disturb anyone with your exhaust notes, you can just use electric only mode. So let's now go into the M2 mode, where I've set up everything to maximum attack. The power delivery is just brutal. Second gear, pin it. Wow, it's so fast. And you can feel the amount of torque, the 1000 Newton meters of torque at your disposal. It comes in so early. Any small increment of input from your right foot translates to the car pushing forward. So in terms of handling, the M5, I feel like, although it's very heavy, but I think BMW actually designed the chassis really well to match the weight. Because if you are pushing this car on the back road like this, it actually handles these corners quite well. There's not much body roll, so you feel really flat on the ground. And also in terms of the sense of turning in and out of the corner, it feels quite neutral. Right now I'm in 4-wheel drive mode, so you can feel there's tons of traction. You can give it throttle very early and the car will just grip and take on that corner very, very easily. And you feel quite safe and feel that the car is actually doing exactly what you want it to do. So in terms of weight, I feel BMW actually disguises the weight really, really well. But you can still feel it though sometimes when you are braking, that the weight is still there. And also if you are going into a corner fairly quickly, you can feel the G-force and the weight trying to escape from you. But other than that, I feel this car is actually pretty amazing because it's got so much power, and with that 4-wheel drive that's constantly there helping you grip, you can drive this car really fast on these back roads. I can imagine if you take this car to the track, this car will be a beast on the track because of the sheer power and the chassis that's quite capable of track driving as well. In terms of steering feel though, because this is a electrically assisted rack, so there's not much feel to it, and it's also quite light even in Sport Plus steering mode. It's really easy to drive, very accurate. It's a little bit vague off center, but it's a fairly quick steering rack. But you just don't feel much through the steering wheel. You don't really know what the front wheels are doing, if you're losing grip or not. There's not that much feedback. I also really like the gauges and also the heads-up display. Everything's really clear, really bright, and designed really well. You can see all the information that you want to see on the gauge in front of you, especially if you're in sport mode. It shows a lot of information. In track mode, you are more focused in the screen in front of you, and they'll shut off the left-hand side infotainment screen, which is a really nice touch. It's very surprising how nowadays with tire technology and chassis technology, they can actually disguise the weight of a car very well. At first, before I jumped into this car, I thought this weight is going to be devastating for a high performance sedan like this. But after I've driven it on the back roads, I actually feel it's not that bad. Even though it's 2.5 tons, which is really, really heavy, but somehow from the trickeries of the chassis, the brakes, the tires, everything working together, you don't really feel this is that heavy. So it still feels quite sporty to drive, especially with the four-wheel drive that's there. If you put it into four-wheel drive sport, it handles these corners so well and eats up these corners like nothing else. Still does have that M-Power DNA in this car. Let's start from the outside of the car. As you can see that the front face is quite aggressively designed with a lot of vents that are all functional. Over here in the center, you can see the radiator behind the grille, and also down here as well. There's a radiator right here. And it's interesting, there is a radiator down here as well. These vents on the side, they actually direct air into the wheel arch to cool the brakes. So these vents are specially designed to cool the brakes. There is also a hole here that allows air to go into the wheel arch and escape through this opening here. So this will reduce the front face drag and improves the aerodynamics of the car. The M5 comes standard with the adaptive LED headlights with matrix high beam, and you can see there's quite a lot of details inside the lighting matrix. And on the side here, there is the BMW LED badge. Moving to the side, you can see this is actually a quite large sedan shape. And I really like the widened fenders, both in the front and also at the rear. On the left side of the car, this is your charging port. On the right hand side, this is for adding your petrol. And you can see this is minimum 95 and recommended 98. The M5 also comes standard with a lot of carbon fiber parts. You can see the side mirror is in carbon. It looks really nice. And also on the top as well, this is the carbon roof. And at the rear, there is also a carbon fiber spoiler. The M5 comes with a staggered wheel setup with 20-inch wheels in the front and 21 inches at the rear. At the back, we have the LED tail lights. They look quite nice with the M5 badge as well. And down here, we have the signature quad exhaust. The exhaust tips are made out of blacked out stainless steel. So right now we are in Dynamic Plus with everything to the most aggressive mode. There is rev limiter at 4,000. Jumping inside the M5, it is really a very nice place to be in. I really like the design of these new BMWs. Interior wise, we have a lot of very nice ambient lighting that runs all the way through across over here to the door as well. And these ambient lighting actually changes with the drive mode. And also if I press the hazard light, you can see the ambient lighting also changes. It's a very, very nice design, very nice feature. These M seats in M5, they are really nice and also very nicely bolstered with this Napa leather. And something I found really interesting is you can actually press this down and the seat goes really, really low. Where you're sitting here, if you see this is the lowest position, where you're sitting here, it's actually quite close to the floor of the car. So this seat can go really, really low. So that's really nice. You can get a really nice driving position with this adjustments. So jumping inside the back of the car, again, this is a large sedan, so the rear space is actually quite plenty. You have a lot of headroom. I'm 175 centimeters tall. This is my driving position. And I have plenty of knee room and leg room as well, so that's really, really nice. And we have vents that directs AC right at the rear passenger. Also here in the center as well, 2 AC vents. And also this AC control is separately zoned for the rear passengers. And also they are touchscreen, so really, really nice and easy to use. In the center here, we have an armrest with a couple of cup holders. That's quite standard. We have ISOFIXes for your child seats. Also at the rear, for all the seat belts, we have this very nice M stitching. On the door card, we have rear passenger curtains for the windows. And also we have ambient lighting as well for the rear passenger, the BMW sound system, and also a quite large pocket bin. So quickly talking about the setup menu, where you can set up the car as you like. There's so much selection and configuration to this car. So on the top here, the setup button, this is your default mode. Once you set up this configuration, this is what you get when you start up the car. And you can also configure the M1 button. Right now, this is configured to the most comfortable setting. So you can change the drivetrain. There's a few selections here. Your M hybrid, this is how you would like to combine your electric motor and your petrol engine. So if you go to Dynamic Plus, this is the most output, gives you the most power combining the electric motor and the V8 engine. And this is almost like a sport mode, and the hybrid mode is the standard mode. Transmission, you can select from drive to S. Your drive logic as well, this is how you change gear, how the car changes gear. Obviously Sport Plus is more aggressive, it'll hold the gears longer. Your energy recovery from max to minimum. Your chassis, basically your suspension, you want it to be comfort, so softer, and Sport Plus, obviously they are a bit firmer for track driving or sportier driving. Your steering wheel as well, comfort, sport, and your brake as well, comfort and sport. There's DSC, you can turn it to MDN. This is the middle ground between off and on. And your M drive, this we'll talk about later. Your M sound, so with the new generations of M cars, I would feel most of the sound are coming from the speakers. So you can actually turn this off. Once you turn it off, the cabin becomes quite quiet actually. So with the M5, you can actually play with the 4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive setup. So for example, if you turn the traction control off, so if you say off DSC, and if you go to the setup, you can then change if you want 4-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive sport, or 2-wheel drive. Once you select the 2-wheel drive, this car becomes a rear-wheel drive car without traction control. Something that I have really taken away from driving this new M5 is how much technology and engineering BMW has put into this car as one package. From the dynamics of the car, the chassis, the engine, the hybrid system, the power, the drive modes, all the electronics, the launch control, everything just works so well as a package. So if you want a car that does everything, a one-car garage that you can drive with electric motor only just to work, and then you can have fun on the back roads and take it to the track, this is it. This does everything really, really well. But on the other hand, if you're looking for a pure sports car feel with lightness and nimbleness and maybe a lot of feel, a feel-some car, then this is probably not it. So yeah, this car priced at $245 $6,000 New Zealand dollars. If you're looking for something like a high-end, high-performance sedan that you can use every day, have fun on the back roads and take it to the track, you should definitely check this car out. A very, very amazing piece of engineering from BMW. Again, special thanks to East Auckland BMW for letting us review this car. Do give them a call if you're looking for a BMW. And again, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and like, and hope to see you again in our next video.